Show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. I am delighted to have with me today author, and I consider her a let it go expert. She is here with us today, author Shirley Patterson. How are you, author Shirley?
I am doing well, Ms. Kim, and thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And you look like you're bringing a lot of sunshine our way. It was really storming bad here in the Charlotte area last night. I couldn't even see the lines, or it was a lot. And I was like, Lord, please let me get home safely. I didn't know whether to pull over or what to do. But when I look at you, I see a ray of sunlight. So I'm excited about it.
Thank you. Happy to bring some sunlight.
Absolutely. Now, where are you located, Shirley?
I am located in Patterson, New Jersey.
Okay, so it's not always that sunny out there. So you definitely have to bring your own.
You have to bring your own.
You better believe it. You better believe it. Well, that's good. I'm so glad to have you here virtually. And that's, I think even having a show virtually, even though I do love in person, and so many times you all will start to see that happening again soon, where I'm hugging and touching on a person locally. This, during the pandemic, when the pandemic happened, afforded me this opportunity to meet people like you that I may never have come in contact with otherwise. So I'm really grateful for the virtual experience too.
Yes, absolutely. That is true.
And how do you all in the studio audience feel about virtual versus in person? What are your thoughts about it? Because I think that there are pros and cons to both. But today we are talking with author Shirley Patterson. And I want to make sure, as you all are grabbing your virtual seats, let us know where you're visiting in from. We'd love to include you into the conversation. And let me make sure I grab my glasses, as you know. Okay. I'm excited. From the Philippines, Tamar said, De Leon, it's a pleasure to have you here on our global program, The Kim Jacobs Show, and we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. So thank you so much for tuning in, and encourage your friends to do the same. Let me take a moment to introduce this beautiful vessel, in my opinion. I think that you are just a force to be reckoned with, and I'm excited about everything that you're doing to make a difference in this world. So you've been through a lot of things yourself, and we're going to learn more about your backstory, a whole lot more, because that's brought you to where you are today, right?
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to people being able to hear your story as well. But I want to give people the opportunity to know that you are an author of 5 books. You're a certified life coach. You're a conference host of Let It Go, a big conference that you host. And you are also a speaker. And I consider you to be a thriver and a survivor, because you're here to tell your story in the midst of the storm. So thank you for being here today, Shirley Patterson.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you on today, and to be able to just share my story, which is, can be a little vulnerable, but, I just believe that because I am a survivor who lived through toxic, abusive relationships, but by the mercies of God, He allowed me to live through it, and He allowed me to live through it all and to make it out on the other side of victory. And so I thank God for that. And I thank God for such a time as this, so that I can be able to help others.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that beautifully. And that's in a nutshell what you can expect from today's episode. So when you talk about some of the things you've had to endure to become who you are today, can you take us back on your journey, as far back as you feel comfortable taking us, to give us an idea of what you've endured?
Well, I was broken inside, and I didn't realize that I was, broken. And so, because I didn't know who I was,
Mm.
and I didn't understand my value or my worth, and that's what left me vulnerable and open to encounter these toxic relationships and abusive behaviors in my life. um, and not it didn't just affect me, but it affected my children. It
Okay.
affected those around me. And so I knew that I had to do something, but I didn't know what
Mm.
or how to find the answers to my situation, until one day I just cried out to God, and because I was tired. I was so tired of the mental abuse. I was tired of the depression. I was tired of living in fear. And I was so tired of the manipulation and the mind games that kept me questioning my sanity and my self worth.
Mm.
And my self esteem was shattered. And when I saw myself, I was losing my hair because of stress and anxiety. Um, I just didn't know which way to turn. But through prayer and fasting and seeking God, He began to give me strategies and answers on some of the things that I was able to reach out to people. Um, One of the things I realized is that you have to have someone that you can truly confide
Yes.
in, someone that will keep it between you two. And so I used to work for an organization that assisted the community. So I had access to be able to reach out for domestic violence
Okay.
situations. And I was able to free myself from these toxic situations. And thank God that I was able, me and my children were able to get out of the situation safely, even though one of my children ended up suffering um, the the physical abuse of being in a toxic situation. And I just thank God He brought me out, and I'm here today, hopingly to help others and share my story. And I realized that it's not just women who go through these things, it
That's
is
right.
also men. And I also realized that because I experienced the silent part of going through it, people are going through silently and they just don't know which way to turn. But thanks be unto God that He, like I said before, allowed me to get out so that I could be here to share my story and to help someone out of their situation.
Well, I'm glad that you're here to share your story too, because a lot of what you just said, I was sitting here taking some notes on some things. And one of the things that you were saying is that you and your children made it out safely.
Hmm.
And there are people that are watching today, even
Hmm.
that are dealing with domestic violence and abusive situations and relationships, and they're not sure that they're going to make it out. What advice
Yes.
would you give to people? Because I think it's such a delicate situation, and people can give any advice that we think is the best thing, but
Hmm.
unless you walk in those shoes, it's really hard to give the right advice. What would you recommend to people based on your own
Well,
personal experience?
based on my experience, I was in a situation where I didn't think I was going to make it out, me nor my children, on one particular day. But by the grace of God, like a chick grabs their babies up under their arms, I grabbed
Mhm.
my children up under my arms and I screamed out, God help us. And we were able to escape that day. And from that moment on, it was a healing process. And my children had to go through their own healing process. Thank God they're older now, they're wiser now. They went through some things because of this experience.
Right.
And that's why I say, seek the help. You know, um, we have access to internet.
That's right.
You can go online and you can do your own research on finding places in your area that will assist you in making it out safely.
When okay, because when I hear that, I do know that sometimes some of the partners and people are heavily controlling in
Oh,
situations.
yes.
And so I was looking here at the Emory University School of Medicine, and they said that nearly 1,300 deaths and 2 million injuries every year in the United States due to domestic violence. And one in
Hmm.
three women worldwide have been forced into sex, beaten, or otherwise abused during their lifetime. This
Yes.
That's staggering statistics, in my opinion. And so when you're dealing with these situations where people are trying to control your every move and you're not sure what the outcome is going to be if you step out and go in a different direction, how do they get these resources without it being obvious that they are getting these resources? Do they go to the library? How does this happen? Because I know nobody's with you 24 hours, but I'm trying
Right.
to determine, how do people really access these resources that's needed?
If you're working, you can do it while you're at work, on your lunch break. If you have a phone, you can do it during those times. You can write all your information down, put it in a safe place where only you will know where it is. Or you can also send that information to a family member, a friend, and have them lock it in their phones for you. Um,
That's
what
good.
I did was I was able to get, like I said, I was working at an agency, so I had access to these things. So I was able to get those things, and at times I was able to just have like a little one of those little books that has a lock on it, and I
Okay.
kept those journals. I kept those personal things in a place, whether it would be at work, in my locker, in my desk, locked up. So there are different ways that you
That's
are able to, get the information where the other partner doesn't even know that you're collecting all the data that you need for when it's time for you to exit. And I also would encourage them to pack a bag, put it to the side, or leave it at a friend's house, so that if you're not able to take a lot of stuff with you, you know that what you have is your important documents, everything you need that's going to be important to you, whether it's a changing clothes or two outfits, and you can leave it at a friend's house. So when you're able to make that escape from that toxic
good.
place, you'll have everything you need to carry on from there.
Love this advice, and you're so soothing. So it's like, I could listen to your advice all day long regarding this, because sometimes when people are giving people advice, it just depends upon who's on the receiving end.
Yes.
And many times it's dependent upon who's doing the teaching of that information too,
Mhm.
and whether you feel like that person is someone that's relatable and can understand your plight and what you're
Yeah.
dealing with. And
Mhm.
because you've been through this, I think it just lends much more credibility. So I'm really grateful that you're willing to share your story. So you say pack a bag and leave it at a friend's house. That's great advice. I see Dr. Lotus Richey is on here, and she says go online and find places to help you and to
Yes.
seek the help. This is all things that you
Mhm.
gave as advice, and she's typing it for you. So thank you so much for being a note taker out there, Dr. Lotus Richey. And we know that you are one of the people that's heavily promoting
Yes.
author Shirley Patterson. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing to ensure her journey is smooth. And for
Yes.
those of you that are tuning in, guess what? Dr. Lotus Richey has the Lotus Richey Ignites show. She also has news you can use and books that boom your business. So you want to connect with Dr. Lotus Richey. I see you, Dennis Spraggins. He says, thank you for teaching about relationships, author Shirley. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Another comment came in. So many people are dealing with domestic violence, and Miss Shirley's ability to share in such a transparent way is so helpful for so many that are suffering in silence.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a second. Suffering in silence, Shirley. When people finally take that step and they no longer want to suffer in silence and they trust a friend and they say, okay, on this day at this time, he's not going to be here or she's not going to be here, however, because it's men and women that deal with domestic violence. Can you come over and help me get free of this?
Mhm.
And a friend comes over. I'm saying, I can say personally, I've helped in situations like this, only for the person to go back. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. How is this possible? But I don't understand. So please shed light to me as to why a person does go back. Because there is a reason. I just don't know the reason.
And I can attest to this because I too went back many of times. And I believe, especially when you have children, and there was a particular time where I didn't have income. I was an at-home mom.
Mhm.
And so I believe fear is what causes people to go back
Fear.
because they do not have or feel they do not have the financial support to be able to make it on their own. And again, especially when you have children. But if you are a working person, um, again, fear is because that's all you know, especially depending on how long a person has been together or been with that partner. It's like they don't know anything else outside of that.
Mhm.
And so, how, in my mind, I used to wonder, how am I going to make it? What am I going to do? Um, because you don't want to burden people too much. I mean, I thank God for my family who was there during my difficult times. I thank God for the women who were in my life during that storm and they were able to speak to me. They were able to tell me the hard things that I didn't want to hear. But I thank God for them
Mhm.
and I appreciate it. So, yeah, sometimes I believe it's because people are afraid.
That's interesting. And you know what? And now that you see again, everyone is tuning in today. We're talking with author Shirley Patterson, and we're talking about letting it go, how to let go of toxic relationships. And things so that you can gain your own power back. That's what we're
Yes.
talking about today.
Yes.
And this woman, you just actually helped me because many times when people think about domestic violence, they
Mhm.
only think about just the physical abuse
Right.
or, yeah, just the physical abuse. But
Mhm.
it's so much more to that. It may be emotional, it may be infidelity abuse. It could be all, I mean, I don't know if that's called abuse too, but it's a lot of different types, financial abuse,
Mhm.
narcissism, all
Yes.
kinds of. And so what I just learned is that I actually can relate to some situations because myself, my children, we lived in a hotel for almost a year and
Mm.
didn't have a home or apartment or anything to go to. So that was a abuse to me, even though it wasn't that I was physically being abused, but I was mentally struggling to have
Mhm.
to try to figure out how to make all of this still work out in the midst of
Yes.
a very difficult time.
Yes.
So yeah, so I'm really grateful that you put it in that perspective, that you have that fear of not having to want to involve everybody in your life or not want
Yes.
to have to ask for the help because of your circumstance. But
Mhm.
but what you said was that's the reason why people would go back. I can see, I understand.
And Miss Kim, I just want to say that you're absolutely right. It's not always physical. And I believe mental is just as worse as physical. Because if someone can get your mind, then they can control you. And so that's why I think about that old commercial that says a mind is a terrible thing to waste. If a narcissist can get your mind, then they can control you. But it's possible to break free from that narcissistic tearing you down. Um, Maybe saying, one of the part of the fear is where you're going to go, who's going to help you. Nobody's going to want you, or because you have
Nobody's
too
gonna
many children. You know, um, I'm the only one that is providing for you.
mm,
And so when those things is so bombarded in your mind, and that's all you can think about is this, as the Bible says, as a man thinketh,
So is he.
so is he.
Mm.
And so many of times, because of the words are powerful, and because of the words that were spoken over my life, I began to believe those things. But again, by the grace of God, I was able to break that spell. I was able to break that away from the narcissistic part of being controlled. And I'm free today.
You're free. And we're going to talk about on the second half of this show, we're going to be talking about total freedom and how you got there. Listen, I see all of the comments that are coming in. I want to make sure I take a moment and acknowledge all of you all. Tamar, who is in the Philippines, said that she's excited to be here. So glad to have you. Nora, I'm joining from Nigeria. So glad to have you today, Nora. Thank you for tuning into the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance, by the way. We're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Yana says that, hey, I'm grateful to see Miss Kim and Miss Shirley. I'm all ears about your new book. So you're going to hear a lot about this beautiful book that she has to offer. And Karam says, thanks for bringing another great episode. You're so welcome. Nora said, hello, everyone. It's a great day. Yes, it is. And you have to make it a great day. God's mercy and grace has been powerful in her life and those that she touches. Two wonderful people, Vivada says, and she says that in one frame, love from Pakistan. Glad to have you. Good day, everyone, Dennis says. So I'll make sure I go and see some more comments as well. Okay, Dr. Lotus said, mental abuse is one of the worst abuses because it impacts every facet of how we feel, think, believe, and behave.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so listen, everybody. We have been talking with already our author Shirley Patterson, and she's talking to us about her backstory. Her and her children, they made it out safely. And you said one of your children did experience some traumatic things that left some indelible marks. So did you want to expound any more on that at all?
I believe he has his testimony. I just it took my boys. It was more my boys. My daughter was already out and doing her thing and raising her, daughter. But my sons, they took the bulk of it. But only one, and he is the prophet that took the bulk of what I didn't take. And he's strong today. And I love the fact that God freed him from some of the things that caused him to go astray, because all of my children were raised in church. They were practically born in the church. Right. So, you can train up a child in the way that they should go. If they depart, they're going to come back.
You better believe
it. And he came back strong. And I know that he's working on the rest of them.
Yes, he is. And like you say, isn't it interesting that the one that's the prophet, you said, is the one that took the brunt of the weight of the world type of thing. Mm-hmm. And that's probably, I don't know if this is the reason, but I believe that God has a calling and a purpose for every single person on this earth. And so he wants us to be able to fulfill that calling. And sometimes we have to go through some very difficult seasons in our lives. Mm-hmm. So we will have that testimony to share with others, Yes. And you can really speak from experience. Then you'd be like, no, I've been there, done that. For real. Mm-hmm. And in your case, got a book for it and T-shirt and everything else, right?
Absolutely. And some mugs.
That's right. So again, we're saying it we're smiling and we're saying it in a nice, joyful way. But a lot of the people that are dealing with this domestic violence are at their wits' end and sometimes even suicidal because they're trying to determine, maybe it's better that I don't even be on this earth. What words of encouragement can you give to anyone that's tuning in today that has not made it out yet? Mm-hmm. They may be on their way, but they're not there yet.
I would just say to you, you're not alone in this situation. You're not alone. And I always speak this over my life. Things are always working out for me. So just know that no matter how dark it may seem, it's always the darkest before the dawning of the day. So no matter how it looks, it may look like nothing is happening. It may look like you're not going to get out of this
Yes.
situation. But
Yes.
I want to encourage you to hold on and know that things are working out for you.
Say that one more time. And you know what? I want people to see you front and center. I'll put myself over on the side. Tell people that message just one more time, please.
I want to just encourage those who may be still in that situation and you're working your way out of it, but it just seems like it's never going to end, or it doesn't seem like it's working. But I want to encourage you and to let you know that you're not alone. We're here with you and we're here for you. And just know that things are always working out for you. If at some point you may get discouraged or you may feel down, I want you to repeat that to yourself. Things are always working out for me. And trust me, before you know it, you're going to be looking back and seeing how God brought you through and how you made it over.
That's beautiful, beautiful. I feel that in my inner man that things are always working out for you, even if you don't, even if you can't see it. We only know in part. God knows
Yes,
everything. And so He knew the beginning because He created
yes,
us and formed us, and He already knows what the end's going to be. But at the end of
yes,
the day, everything that's happening in between, He's working it out for our good,
yes,
even though we
absolutely.
may only see little bits and pieces of it. But we have to trust the process and trust that He has us in the palm of His hand, and that He's going to
Yes,
be okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm so proud of that message. Okay, that's because it doesn't end. I don't know anyone who can actually relate or who is willing to actually help. That's what Mr. H said. There's people, basically what I think I'm hearing Mr. H say is a lot of people are doing a lot of talking, but
Hmm.
nobody's really helping. And that's why I like the varying thoughts and opinions. Please,
Hmm.
all opinions are welcome here on the Kim Jacobs Show. I appreciate you, Mr. H. Thoughts about that? Because you are willing to help, right?
Yes, I'm willing to help. And at the same time, the person has to be willing to accept the help.
Okay, that's good. I love that. And let me also put your contact information up because I want people to know that one person may not be able to do everything to
Yes,
help, but
absolutely.
she can definitely point you into the direction of some proper resources within your area. And again, this show is in multiple countries, 100 countries or more.
Mhm.
And so if you have WhatsApp or some way to connect with Shirley Patterson, she can give you some resources that could help you, even if it's prayer or if it's encouragement, if it's reading some of her book to you, whatever it is that can help you get through your mental issues and in your physical situation that you're dealing with. So the phone number is 1-800-695-9. What is that? That's too many numbers. Okay, wait a minute.
Should have been 9357.
Okay, I'm like, wait, girl, I got my glasses on. I'm like, wait a minute. Shirley, you know, me, threw me off over here. Okay, let's see. 1-800-695-9357. Again, that's for the audio podcast listeners too. That's not seeing the screen. It's 1-800-695-9357. Or you can also go to Shirley A. Patterson books and events.com and be able to connect with Shirley Patterson, and she will connect with you directly. So when you reach out to her, you'll be getting her, not an assistant or someone, but someone that you can connect with directly. And I also like to make sure that you're aware of the domestic violence hotline. Now, keep in mind, because the show is in different countries, every place has their own domestic violence place, but within the United States, it's 800 799 7233. Okay? And there was also another number I wanted to put up, which was the Suicide Prevention Hotline. Make sure if you're in the United States, this is the Suicide Prevention Hotline 988. And you can even call anonymously. Don't feel like all hope is gone when you're dealing with some of these difficult times in your life. This is a season that you're going through, and it can pass and it shall pass. I'm asking God to allow it to pass in your life without anybody having hurt or harm or danger or your life being taken. All right.
Yes.
All right. More comments. Lots of comments. Trust the process, Yana said. How important is it to trust the process from your perspective, Shirley?
It's very important. It's very important to trust the process. As I said before, sometimes you might get discouraged and it may seem like nothing is happening, but just know that God is working. He's always working, He never stops working. And His time is our time. And so we just have to lean in and trust the process.
Beautiful, beautiful. Karam says, absolutely, you are never alone and things are working out for you. And then put Mr. H's comment up. I see, okay, Maurice. Yes, it's beautiful to hear that your son has found strength and healing. It's a testimony to the power of resilience and the support of faith.
Yes.
So family support whenever you did transition out of the domestic violence situation, did you have your support system around you that rallied to support you? I know you mentioned that earlier. How important is
Yes.
that?
It's very important. I'm grateful that I have siblings. And I'm the baby of the 11 children.
The baby?
So, of
Oh yes.
course,
They,
so
they
I'm, of
spoiled you.
course, yes, of course, my older sisters were there to speak to me, encourage me. And like I said, other family members, my daughter. So, yeah, it's very important.
And then you know what, you're saying it in a modest way because you're nice and soothing and calming. But if you have older sisters, they like, okay, okay, don't play. I don't know. I don't know if that's how your family is, but my family, they'd be like, oh, no, what? You know, they don't have to, and you have to hear a whole lot of feedback from family when it comes to
Yes,
family.
I think the men are more mellow, my
Okay.
brothers, but the sisters, I have one in particular.
She
She
like, don't
stand
play.
on business.
That's funny. That's funny. And you know what? Even in dealing with the fact that you have still this person being the father of your children and things, and you know you want to have some level of much synergy as possible, right? How
Yes.
does that work for you?
Well, forgiveness was the key. Let go, forgive, and I also had to acknowledge um, the resentment that had built up inside of me, the anger, the frustration, um, and I had to let that go. I had to let go of the things that I could no longer control. And I can truly say today that I love the guy. As a person, I love him.
You
I
too.
appreciate, you know. Um, and I just say I I don't despise none of my experiences, because if it wasn't for the experience, I would never have known how strong I was and how strong my children have come out of this. So there's no hatred, because everybody goes through something.
That's
And
right.
just because you're in a relationship, and you might have been in a relationship for years or decades, you still do not know some of the traumas that person may had to walk through in their life, and they never healed themselves from those traumas. So again, I thank God for the experience, because the experience helped me to identify some of the traumas that was in my life that caused me to draw those type of relationships within my life.
I knew I loved you for that. I mean, you know what? I don't even know you like that, right? But at the end of the day, just in these brief encounters, I was like, it's just something special about you. And you are literally probably one of the first people in a long time that I've connected with that shares the same views that I have, which
Yes.
is that I literally still love the person that I was with. And, you know,
Hmm.
not from ever getting back together and all of that drama,
Right.
but just I love everybody. I love God's people. And so I don't have disdain towards him or towards any other people that have been
Right.
involved in different aspects of stuff. You know what? I love them all. It's okay.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
yeah, so I was just wondering if I was the only crazy one that
Yeah.
was like, you know what? How can I be a person that's a child of God and say that I love this person, but I don't love that person. I love, and
Right.
now please be clear that I've done some things even in my process of going through my own healing that I was like, I probably shouldn't have did that. You know what I'm saying? And you're like,
Absolutely.
oh, okay, Kim, you were out of character in that moment. And
Yes.
that's not cool, right? Because you done unraveled a little bit. Get it back together. You're going to represent Christ, represent him to the best of your ability, for real,
Absolutely.
and
Ab
beyond your ability. But
yes.
you're probably, I think you are the first person outside of me saying I love him still. I love people,
Mhm.
and it's okay. But
Mhm.
not because we're gonna hang out again like at that level. But what if we ever have to go to like baby showers or weddings
Yes.
or so you can't be in the same room? Are you kidding me? Yes, you should be able to be
Right.
in the same room because we're still God's people, right?
Yes, because I believe when you're healed from the inside out
That's right.
and not from the outside in, then you're able to forgive, you're able to move on with your life. And when you see them, you're able to hold a conversation and also continue to pray for them.
Right. That's good. Okay, Mr. H said, yeah, thank you so much for correcting that phone number for her. We appreciate it. That's a good because you want to be able to get in contact with her.
Thank you.
I know that sounds crazy, but the support system. Okay, I'll pop your comment up. Mr. H says, I know that sounds crazy, but the support system that I had was a cult in PA. So he's saying he had a awkward situation going on with who he was probably somebody was helping somebody or something. All right, let's see. Lotus, give some love, tap hearts, and thumbs up. Y'all, put some emojis over there in the comment section if this is benefiting you in any way, shape, or form. Put any emoji that represents how you're feeling from today's conversation and interview with Shirley Patterson. And you can put praise hands because you're feeling free. You can put some heart emojis. You can put some kissies because you're feeling the love. Whatever you want to put, just put some emojis and we'll pop them up. Oh, you know what? Let me take a moment just to acknowledge that yesterday there was a Biz in the Kids entrepreneur summer camp that ended. So if you're watching this and it's in the winter or something, then that means you're watching a replay. But here's the deal. The kids did these different projects, businesses that they each started, and I had the opportunity to help them create a name for each of their businesses. And so I got this little piece here from one of the young entrepreneurs that were at the event. So I was like, oh, she created her own jewelry company, and we purchased some of their pieces. So it's so important for young people to become entrepreneurs as well and for us to support them. So if anyone is interested in learning more about kids in the biz, you can reach out to Sadie Jones, which is my aunt, and she's the person that's helping to put together a big field trip for them. So you can just reach out to me and I'll connect you to her. All right, I see. Oh, these are the emojis that's coming in. Oh, hugs, and hearts and prayer. I see Shirley Murphy, global guru for GLIM, and that's a global networking group, and she's on. Let's give some love taps. Yes, yes, yes. It's really hard to forgive someone said. You have to have a big heart, Miss Patterson. Thank you for being such a great example. All right, everybody, listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hear more about author Shirley Patterson and a book that she just recently released called Let It Go. So I'm going to put this image up because I want you to know that this book launch happens on August 16th, Friday at 10 a.m. And if you want to pre-order your copy, I'll leave this here for a brief moment. And when we come back, we're going to deep dive into more about the book, Let It Go, what you can expect as a reader. But go ahead and get that QR code while it's still there. And we'll put it up again multiple times throughout the rest of the broadcast. And we will be right back, everyone, right after this commercial break.
Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got good news for you. You've just discovered an international network of women entrepreneurs who are committed to helping you achieve, succeed, and prosper. We're on a mission here to help 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. Here at eWomen Network, we have a complete success system that supports you every step of the way in building and growing your business. You being here right now is no accident. We're supposed to know about you. We want to meet you to find out how we can help you as well as learn about what you have to offer. With over 500,000 women connected through 118 chapters across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, you are never alone. If this is resonating with you, please go to ewomennetwork.com/Charlotte. Notice too my contact information. I invite you to reach out to me and to check out our upcoming in-person and online events. I'm really looking forward to introducing you to our special community.
All right, everyone, we are back and we're talking with author Shirley Patterson. As we talk with you today, I know that you wrote this book called Let It Go. What made you decide to let that be the title of your book? Let it go. Let it go.
As I stated before, when I just got tired and I found myself just didn't know where to turn but God and cry out to him. And one of the things that I heard in my spirit in that moment as I was crying out of my soul, I know some say your heart, but my soul was crying out for God's help. And I heard this still small voice, and it just said, let it go. Forgive and let go. And I heard someone in the comments saying that forgiveness is not always easy. But one of the things that I realized and I learned that forgiveness is not for that person. Forgiveness is really for you. And I had to understand that it was for me. Because if you don't forgive, and I realized I was harboring so much animosity and bitterness because I couldn't understand, why was I going through this? Why, God? Why me? Why did my children have to suffer? And I knew that I had to let that go. I knew that I had to forgive, because that was the only way that I was going to heal myself from the inside out and be free from this. Because we don't understand that forgiveness is like a cancer.
It really is.
Eats you up from the inside out.
Unforgiveness.
I realized that I was getting sick, always stay sick all the time. And I was like, no, I have to let this go. I have to forgive. And not only forgive the person, but I had to forgive myself as well.
Yes.
I had to forgive myself for things that I could have prevented happening in my life. And so I had to take accountability for my own actions. And so if I had to say, forgiveness was not hard for me to forgive that person, but the hardest part was forgiving myself. Because I felt like I let myself down. I let my children down. And so that forgiving the person was easy.
Sure.
But forgiving me was harder, because I hate to say it, but Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror, I had to look in that mirror and face my own self.
Whew.
And that was the most toughest thing that I had to go through, and the hardest part of my healing.
I am so glad you said that, Shirley, because I thought I was on an island by myself. I'm like, I'm not so worried about just forgiving him or anything associated with him. I was upset sometimes with my own self, because I'm like, what in the world? You could have done this, or could have, should have, would have, and all of that stuff.
Yes.
But then at the end of the day, you only act according to what you know that's before you at that moment. So you're
right.
100% operating what you know is right to do at that moment. But really, hindsight is always 2020. You have the perfect vision then. But
Yes.
but when it's happening and rolling out, it's like, oh my gosh, you mean tell me? I'm thinking about stuff for me anyway. My 401k, my other stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, I've been a whole millionaire myself, just me alone. And
Right.
now some things that I could have done slightly differently, but I didn't know those pieces of the puzzle.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, I had to forgive myself too. So again, you're like my twin over there. I appreciate you being vulnerable enough to say it wasn't even just about the person that you have to
Hmm.
forgive, but taking the moment to say, I forgive me, but even some of the ignorance I was exuding, or the blindness of oblivion,
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be. But so you have to forgive yourself too in order to be able
Yes.
to go on. So forgive myself for things I could have changed in my own life. I love that. Lotus Roche, Dr. Lotus Roche says, what a great show. Thank you so much for trusting us to be able to host one of your clients, Dr. Lotus Roche. I really appreciate you trusting the Kim Jacobs Show in that capacity. I do want to put up her contact information again, and that's 1-800-695-9357. Again, 800-695-9357. I said that. 800-695-9357. And you can go to Shirley A. Patterson Books and Events.com. So this book, people can scan the QR code and they're going to get a pre-ordered copy. How does that work?
So once they scan the code, the information from the website, I will be able to retrieve it. And when the book is out and released, then they will get a copy of the book.
Okay. And what do
And
you want? Go ahead.
also, they can download the ebook
Where do they
from,
do that? On the website?
yes,
Oh, here, you know what? I went over to this website and it is beautiful. I'm sure Dr. Lotus Roche had something to do with that too, probably,
yes.
because she is epic. So you all definitely want to connect with Dr. Lotus Roche and tell her the Kim Jacobs Show sent you. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Let It Go. The pre-order. This is the website, y'all. So if you go over to Shirley Patterson book, Shirley A. Make sure that A is in there. Shirley A. Patterson Books and Events.com. This is what you're going to see. This is the website. And let's just scroll through. That's beautiful. You can get your ebook. You'll learn more about Shirley A. Patterson and how you can acknowledge your resentment, take responsibility for your actions, pray and meditate, let go of things that you have no control of, and overall take some action. And we're going to learn what some of those action steps are that you can take right today. She also offers professional service and friendly support with over 10 years of experience. And my best sellers, here we go. She has all kind of books. Look at this. She's an author of 5 books, y'all. So she's you know, hey, what is that? A hidden gem. Yeah, a hidden gem. How I Made It Over, Healing from the Inside Out. And then her newest release is Let It Go. But Jumpstart Your Breakthrough, 30 Days of Affirmations. This is some important things for you to be aware of. And then all kind of reviews as well. So y'all, make sure you go visit Shirley A. Patterson, booksandevents.com. What's an action step you recommend people take when they're in the process of letting it go? Why did I say it like that? Letting it go.
Let it go. Well, again, you just read it. One of the actions that I began to take was, first, I had to acknowledge my resentment and forgive myself, and also continual prayer and meditation during days when I didn't feel like, again, things were, going the way that I was hoping they would go, and the timing of it. And also being able to let go of the things that you can't control. You have no control over certain things, but the things that you do have control of, you continue to work towards those things. And I just took those actions to begin to heal myself and let go of, you know, all things toxic in my life.
And you are totally, it seems like you're just totally free. So free indeed, right? You are
Yes,
totally,
absolutely.
do you feel that way, like from the inside out, that you're completely
Yes.
free?
Yes.
And you know we
And the
want to
way
do
that and the way that you know that you're free is it doesn't bother you anymore. Certain things does not trigger you anymore.
it. Yeah.
So that's how I knew I was free. People can talk about the other person and it doesn't trigger anything on
Right.
the inside of me. There's nothing left in me of that
Right.
situation because the soul tie has been
Seven.
also cut. Yes.
That's good. That's good. I love that. So the soul tie has been severed in that regard. The trauma from these types of experiences can stay with us forever if we do not do the work to overcome it. As Miss Shirley, she's helping so many people today. Wow. Well, one person had a question out there I wanted to get you to answer. How has your perspective in life and relationships, Maurice said, changed since overcoming these challenges?
Well, as I overcame these things, I used to think before that I was never going to find love, or I don't think that there's anyone out there for me. But again, because of my healing, I don't have that perspective anymore. I just know, as Lotus said, that I had to do the work within me first so that I won't draw those type of narcissistic, toxic relationships back into my life. And so I'm open. I'm open for love and I'm open for new relationships. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid to love.
Because that was the question I was going to ask you. Are you dating? Are you open to love? So the answer is yes, you are.
Yes.
And what about, are you dating?
No, I am not dating.
I am not trying to do no match nothing on this show, but y'all, this beautiful vessel is available. And whoa. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do about it. That is huge. I'm looking on your Facebook page over here. I see some beautiful folk on this page, but I don't know who's family and who's not. So I didn't want to pull pictures up, but there's some beauties over here, some beautiful family. I see all kind of great photos. Graduation photos, prom.
That's my granddaughter, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. So you got a lot of beautiful family pictures. Y'all make sure you connect with Shirley Patterson and you'll be able to see all of these beautiful pictures. I don't want to be popping up stuff and she'd be like, "Oh girl, that was not the picture I wanted to put up." But she is available, and I don't know where they can find you other than if y'all go ahead and connect with her on her site, then you might be able to say, hey, this beautiful lady over there, can I get to know you a little bit better? She says she's open to dating. Hello. All right. And you definitely have somebody out there that God has created for you.
Yes.
So y'all can keep in touch with her at Shirley A. Now you got me all tongue-tied over here because you're over there available. I ain't know that. Okay. Shirley A. Patterson, books and events.com. And her phone number is 800-695-9357. Now you have an event coming up. Tell us about that. Your book signing?
Yes, I have a book signing coming up in September on the 21st. It's a free event, and it's going to be in Patterson, New Jersey at 250 Broadway at the Patterson Library. And it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
All right, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Patterson, New Jersey. Now, I'm going to tell you in advance, if you coming out there trying to just see her because you trying to get a little quick date type of thing, you're going to buy a book. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
You're going to buy the book first. I'm being so silly, y'all. Please, I never get out of my comfort zone like this and being silly, but here you go. No, because you know what? There are so many celebrities and different people out here. And then you have, you know, you turn into these shows and stuff. I don't even know all of them off the top of my head, but like the Housewives of this and the da-da-da-da. Look at this. Y'all gotta go look nowhere. You look right here at Shirley A. Patterson. Okay? Get your own beautiful house. right here on the Kim J. Okay, let me get off this. Let me get off this messing around because you're gonna be like, Kim, you got me blushing over here. Author Shirley Patterson. Anybody agree with me that this is a beautiful beauty queen? We could have her find her, have her soulmate find her. Right?
Yes,
Not her having to find nobody. But lovely
absolutely.
conversation, Karam said. Glad you tuned in, Karam. And I want to show this real quick, her promo video for Let It Go. Let's look at it right now.
Hi, this is your friend Shirley Patterson, and I am here to share some exciting news with you. Get ready for my book release on how to free yourself from toxic relationships as I share with you my journey on how I was able to let it go and take back my power. And you can too. This book will show you how. Stay tuned.
All right, everyone. So again, you are in for a tremendous treat when Let It Go gets released. So you can go ahead and get your pre-ordered copy. You can pre-order a copy now. So don't wait until August anything. Go ahead and pre-order your copy right now at Shirley A. Patterson Books and Events. If you know that you're going to get a book and you're tuning into today's episode, put it over in the comments section. I just got my book. I'm getting my book. I'm getting mine today. I'm getting mine today. Put your comments, state your claim and say, I just ordered my book. I ordered a copy
Yes,
for a
yes.
friend. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have her come and talk to our church group. I'm going to have her come and speak at our upcoming conference, our women's event. Put it over in the comments section what you're planning to do as it pertains to author Shirley Patterson. There's so many people, as you can already hear from today's episode, that would benefit greatly from hearing her testimony and how she overcame to become who she is today. What is a closing comment you have for us, Shirley?
Well, one of the things I would like to repeat or reiterate again is to let you know that you're not alone. And there are resources out here that can help you during your difficult times or help you on showing you how to put a plan together so that you can exit that situation safely. And again, just remember these words: things are always working out for you.
Things are always working out for you, even when you don't think that they are. And
Yeah.
I also had the distinct pleasure of writing the foreword for
Yes.
author Shirley Patterson's book. And so I had the chance to read the manuscript prior to writing it. And your life will be forever better because you've had the opportunity to read her story and to glean from her experience. So you don't. Oh, hey, somebody said, hey, I'm getting mine today for sure, for sure. I'm getting mine today. I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. Please share, Dr. Loves. Get your book today. Lovely conversation. I see all of your comments. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's episode. And listen, the only way that the Kim Jacobs Show is able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time, is through having guests like author Shirley Patterson and many other guests that I've brought onto the broadcast. But the only way that we get a chance to do this is to have contributions from community members. You don't get because you don't ask. So I'm asking for at least 10 viewers today, 10 of you all, to donate and partner with the Kim Jacobs Show. Whatever contribution that God has put in your heart to provide to our broadcast, we come live Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only way we can come live every day like this is when I have team members that I also have to take care of and subscriptions and you name it in order to be able to have a professional broadcast for you all that looks network ready, right? It's right here. It looks like you're on a regular old show, and you are. And so listen, make sure you donate and contribute to our broadcast today, right at $Kim Jacobs Inc., which is our Cash App. You can do it through PayPal, paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., or you can also send it through Venmo, and that's at the Kim Jacobs Show. We have two 2 membership programs that you can be a part of, which is patreon.com/The Kim Jacobs Show. Or you can also join the Mother Dreamer movement, which is motherdreamer.com/join. Thank you so much for all of you that already contribute to the broadcast. We don't take it for granted. And again, without your support, we're not able to come on every day like this. So please take a moment today and provide any contribution. You know how, Shirley, when you go on a show, you're like, oh man, I meant to say this and I totally forgot to say it. You're new to this interview process. That might be the case sometimes. So I want to give you one more opportunity to say anything that you intended to say that you didn't get to say. Say it.
I also have a women's conference that's coming up, the Let It Go 2024 Women's Conference coming up in September on the 28th. If you're in the New Jersey area, especially Patterson, join us on September the 28th from 12 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. at 62 Park Avenue in Patterson, New Jersey. You don't want to miss this.
Say it one more time. September 28th, and it's where?
September 28th in Patterson, New Jersey, 62 Park Ave, Patterson, New Jersey. And parking is limited, and tickets will be coming out for this event Wednesday of next week.
Okay. And what time is the event?
The event will be from 12:30 to 3:30.
Okay, 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. But again, all of this information, I'm going to put this here for you all, but all of this information, give me a second, I'm going to pull it up because I want you to have this. Here you go. Make sure you know that the Women's Conference for Let It Go is September 28th, 62 Park Avenue, 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. But you can get all of this information and more, and definitely the book that is available right now for pre-order by going to Shirley A. Patterson booksandevents.com. Shirley A. Patterson booksandevents.com. Or you can just call her 800-695-9357. Shirley, I told you we were gonna have a good time.
I really did. It was very good.
So now it's like
great
right?
show.
You say what?
Yes. I said it was a very great show, and I'll do my woo-saw off camera.
Okay, yeah, you're in your poise mode. That's good. All right, everybody, listen, I see all of your comments still flooding in. So, hey, we got to put this up. He said, I just pre-ordered mine. Please have yours from here. Order it right from here. And he put the link, and you can also share that on your social media page, Karam. We greatly appreciate you taking a moment to order a copy. Evangelist Clara Walton, and she is a prophetess, and she says that she is getting her copy today as well.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you, prophetess.
She prophesied over me, Shirley, that I was carrying a girl. And I said, no, ma'am, I have 4 sons, and I'm definitely not. I'm not even pregnant, is what I was telling her. She came to my church and told the whole congregation, and I whispered it to her. I said, no,
wow.
I said, I have 4 sons, because I didn't know her at that time. I said, I have 4 sons. So no, I'm not even pregnant. And she did like this, and she stepped back from me, and she said, if I be a woman of God, and I know that I am, she said, you're carrying the spirit of Deborah in your womb. And
wow.
I'm like, why is it like this? Guess what? I was pregnant, 3 days pregnant when she said that.
Wow.
Had a baby girl, Jayla Jacobs. And I promise you, the spirit of Deborah is all over her life. All over her life. And needless to say, Mother Clara Walton is the godmother, and Les Brown is the godfather, where Mother Clara Walton and Bishop Walton are the godparents, and then Dr. Les Brown is the godfather.
Awesome.
So she knows what she's talking about, right?
Yes.
All right, so prophesy some good stuff over her book here, Mother, okay?
Yes.
All right, everybody. Listen, I hope that you've had a wonderful experience today as you've enjoyed this conversation. And thank you for being so transparent, Shirley. Greatly appreciate you. All right. What's next? I got to ask one more question. We're going to go. We're going to get ready to go. What's next for Shirley Patterson outside of your book? for you personally?
Well, what's next for me is just living and enjoying the fruits of my labor as it comes.
You look like you're ready to enjoy some fruits of your labor over there. But
Yes.
y'all heard her say it out of her own mouth. It's not him pushing it. She said she's open to love. I'm just saying, what I say about it, she said it. That wasn't me. All right. Oh, hey, Maurice. That's why I stayed on a little bit longer, because some people still trying to pre-order their books. And Maurice said I just pre-ordered my book. Y'all keep your comments coming. If you pre-ordered the book and the show has ended or whatever, still put it in the comments section. Shirley will see that, and she will come into whatever format. Yeah, I think it's on Facebook over here. And she'll actually put a comment or something for you. Let's see. People are on Instagram too. Lots of people have been on Instagram over here. And I hadn't acknowledged. Oh, Lord. Okay. Anyway, just know that even if you're on Instagram, we appreciate you tuning in today. Oh, she said, oh, your Boaz will come. That's what the prophet is the type. Well, Mother Walker, you ain't prophesied nothing about me about that. Oh, wait. I feel so
I want to tear nothing up in here now.
Well, you know how you don't want to be jealous of somebody's prophecy. You like, you think anybody gonna come? All right, get off this line. Get off this good show. Oh, what God has for you is for you.
Absolutely. I receive it.
You should receive it.
I receive it.
She said your Boaz is coming.
My Boaz will come.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to show off, evangelist, prophetess. Come on now. I'm trying to stay calm here.
He said, prepare yourself, baby. Prepare yourself. Now, if they tell you that they met you through the Kim Jacobs show, you have to come. Okay, seriously, y'all, this is about the most juicy stuff that happened on the Kim Jacobs show in a minute.
Oh my God.
Like Betty Crocker version, people be like, oh God, here Kim is just so straight and narrow. But listen, this right here, y'all, this right here is some good stuff. So that y'all need to tell everybody that Kim got some juicy stuff.
Prophetess Claire, is it?
Yeah, Clara Walton.
I am preparing myself. I really am. I am. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Miss Kim, once again for having me, and thank you for making me feel comfortable enough to just be myself and express myself the only way that I know how.
You did a lovely job. Okay, everybody, for real, we're going to really end the show on this note. See, y'all keep putting your comments. Every time I get ready to close out, y'all keep saying something. Mother Walton, I'm not trying to really close out without her being able to share this prophet. She said, amen. So be it, baby. So be it.
So be it. It's already done.
It's already done. Y'all make sure you pour into the Kim Jacobs show. I believe it's a ministry anyway, but you make sure you pour into the broadcast today when you get a moment. And we greatly appreciate your support. All right, everybody, we're getting ready to go. Have a great day. Scan that QR code one more time. Scan the QR code one more time. One more time. You can pre-order your copy of Let It Go, How to Free Yourself from Toxic Relationships and Take Back Your Power. You're going to take that power back. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Shirley, have a great one. Stay backstage. I'll talk to you in a second. All right.
Yes.
Love you all, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Love you, Mother Walton. All right. Mother Julia Harper, I know you're tuning in. I love you too. All right.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.